Greetings.
Great, thanks.
I wanted to ask you about the stuff off the pitch. How important was that for you coming into this World Cup to have all of that right, like having the players' families come over, all that sort of thing? Why did you put such a big emphasis on that?
Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do because if families are being looked after and they realise that that's going on, then it makes these lads' life a lot easier, and not just that, not just because of that. It's because we want to. You know, we feel like we're one big family, and that's how it should be.
Johnny, do you think that's helped you all out on the pitch, that you've sort of been able to be as normal as possible having your family here too?
Yeah, it's been a huge help. Takes some of those stresses away in terms of trying to organise things off the pitch, and you know, all the partners and families have been flying over, looked after by the management, and hotels put up everything. So it's everything was looked into in terms of our performance, and we have to pay it back now.
Tommy? Andy, are you a permutations man? Are you across all the numbers and everything, or are you viewing this as a knockout, do or die rugby match on Saturday night?
Oh yeah, we want to win. It's a massive game. It's so important to us, and certainly obviously to them, but to the travelling fans and the people back home, etc. It's a huge game. We have Ian Henderson in our group. He's good at maths, so we're across everything as far as that's concerned. But the easiest way is to make sure that we perform well and deserve to win the game outright.
Neil?
Andy, Ian Henderson being in over James, is that a case where James just missed out on a few reps towards the end of the week? Like, is he 100% fit to play?
He is. He's fit, and he had a bit of a niggle on a wrist, but that's fine. And trained the house down. Actually, trained the best I've seen him train in a good amount of years. Yesterday, he actually nearly took Johnny's head off 3 or 4 times. So he's fit and round to go. There's no doubt.
And if I could just ask both of you for your thoughts, Peter O'Mahony making his 100th cap this weekend.
Oh well, we can sit here all day, the two of us, and talk about what he brings, what he means to us all, what type of bloke he is, what type of family man he is, etc. We'd be here the whole press conference, but I would say he's to sum him up, he's selfless. I mean, some you guys would see the performance on the pitch, and it's heroic from Pete. Like, you know, you can see what it means to him to play for Ireland, etc. But we obviously see behind the scenes, and he's definitely 100% one of the best I've ever seen at making the dressing room feel right. And it's not just a skill; it's him being himself, because it's genuine, you know. And I'm sure Johnny would echo this, that there's no better man that you would want on the sat at the side of you in the dressing room at the weekend than Peter O'Mahony. He's a selfless player that gives everything to his teammates. A fantastic teammate, top draw as far as the teammate is concerned, and he backs that up with consistent performances week in, week out for Ireland and for Munster.
And Johnny?
Yeah, he's been a great friend of mine. Over the last however many years we've been playing together, probably 10, 11, 12 years, I'm not sure exactly. Like if I said, a consistent form, big game player, I would say. Obviously leader in the group, very different to some of the other leaders, but he's got his, you know, he knows the dressing room, he knows he's such a huge part of it. I don't think you guys get to see the real Peter O'Mahony. He gives very little away when he sits up here, one word answers, but he's the life and soul of the dressing room behind closed doors, and yeah, it's a privilege to play with him all the time, and we'll be playing for him as much as we are for ourselves on Saturday.
Just Johnny, you came into plenty of hardship against the Southampton back row. How's the body? How have you held up in that 2 weeks?
Yeah, good. I suppose the game, in terms of from my return to play, it was definitely the most physical, clearly. So it was tough, but I suppose the week off came at a good time. We had a few days off after the game, so probably 3 or 4 days where I could chill out and relax and try and unwind a bit from what was a hectic first few weeks, and then build again for this massive game.
I think
Sorry, just a few I need to get around. Gavin.
Johnny, can you describe the particular challenge playing against Ben Russell?
Well, like I've said, anytime I get asked about another at half, it's never us against each other. It's our teams. You know, you need to, as an at half, you rely so much on the guys around you, and you know, it's very rarely we'll tackle each other. Very rarely that, you know, we'll have a head to head. But you know, we're both in charge of the teams that we're playing for. But he's an outstanding player. He's got, you know, full bag of tricks, and yeah, we've had to prepare thoroughly to face him.
Sinead?
Andy, what's the latest on Robbie Hinshaw's injuries?
Yeah, he pulled up with a hamstring, unfortunately for him, at the end of the session on Tuesday, and the diagnosis with hamstrings, they want to see how things settle down, and probably takes about 5 days for that type of thing to happen, but it looks like it could be a minimum of a couple of weeks at this stage.
Is he going to stay with this?
Well, obviously we'll assess that as we go. Certainly, he'll be around and rehabbing, and we'll see how the weekend goes with other injuries, etc., and assess how Robbie's going along the way also.
Thanks. Sorry, Gavin, you have a second question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about Stuart McCloskey. He's obviously had to bide his time. He's become a dad as well. There's been a lot to deal with. How do you take the news he's been involved?
He's been excellent, as has everyone else that's not played as much game time as they possibly would have wished for. His attitude's been top draw, and the message to those guys has been all along that you've got to be ready, and your attitude has got to prove that day in, day out, and it certainly has. As far as everyone's concerned, the Stu's one of those, and he's ready to slot in and raring to go.
Go Sports.
Question for both of you. It's okay, that game against South Africa, the atmosphere inside Stade was incredible. How big a role did the fans play this weekend, particularly in Scotland as well, bringing probably a fair number over too?
Look, it was a very special atmosphere, a very special occasion in that South African game, and you know, we enjoyed it after. And I think the fact that we had a game off, as in the weekend off, allowed us to do that. Normally, if you have a game the following week, you almost have to start preparing straight away. But you know, we enjoyed the night and the celebrations, and then it's back down to Scotland. But in terms of this week, I know there's lots of Irish fans coming again. I'm sure the Scottish fans will travel, so it'll probably make for an even more special atmosphere because it'll be 50-50, I'm sure.
Thanks. Last question for the live section.
Johnny, does it feel like a knockout game? This.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah.
It is a knockout game. Yeah, we've viewed it as like a last 16, and we've spoken about it, and that's why it's important that we got our preparation right, and yeah, we need to go out and get our performance right now.